party shall make everyone buddies. I like sweets and other delicious foods, but what I dislike is when someone puts some scrappy doo-doo in it. Joke aside, they eat dog tonight. This discovery got everyone beefing in this feud. Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day, and if not, I wish you a better one tomorrow. Have you guys ever heard of a show called The Twilight Zone? If you have, then y'all extravagant, and if you haven't, I need to be extinct. Like soon. To simply explain today's question, I saw an anime that made me feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. This show was about people who lived in a peaceful but shady apartments where we had old folks and bros in one sitting. The central character is an upbeat little girl who the old people adored. But once you get a slice of this story's layer, it gets crazy. What the fuck? I swear this story got me muffed up. Although it's not like When They Cry. I will never touch that story with a 10-foot pole. Hell nah. Oh, in the case if you're wondering, I'm doing a pretty much Housing Complex C. It's Housing Complex C, not Housing Cotton C, you dumb ass. Before I go on, please hit those like, comment, and subscribe buttons to further provide support for this channel. Also, I'm going to spoil this story, so if you don't want to see it get spoiled, or if you care, then get the fuck out. Also known as my favorite acronym, GTFO. With that said, snacks, cola, flashback. We start off with war. In a what period? I don't know. Let's say we are in Demon Slayer's period. Yeah, let's go with that. We're in Demon Slayer's period. Warriors were out doing sandal kicks. Most of them ended up hanging on the sticks, dead as hell. We see all these people who are dying to protect this one individual, a princess. Before they were able to get close enough to poke her insides, we get spirited away from here and are put into the present. Instead of seeing samurais, we get to see a sunrise, motherfucker. We meet what I like to call Grandpa's Ed, and Eddie, who were outside chilling. And that's when the cankers came out on the roll, assembled with their fat rolls outside to say hi to the Ed boys. Among them was a little girl who I will call Debbie, a sweetheart. The gang did their usual chats, with Debbie being the icebreaker, making the group laugh. During their conversation, they bring up the new neighbors that were supposed to move into their complex. They felt a little bit uncomfortable, but tried to be more accommodating towards them. One of the Eds bring up an old storage area that they came across a while ago. They warned their friends to stay away from it. Despite this warning, Double D and Debbie decided to explore it together. Among seeing old relics from the past, they found a weird artifact that definitely won't foreshadow something bad. Eventually, they find an old ice shaver, which will probably be important later. Personally, Double D is my favorite old person in this show. You'll find out why soon enough though. The new arrivals make it to their destination. They came from the land of tacos to live on the land of rice for work. Leading these young fellows, the father, who I will call Johnny, and his wife Sonia, and their little daughter Yuno. Speaking of Yuno, Debbie parades herself towards her by taking a leap of faith and landing on the homeboy Arnold. The old people politely scolded her, though, for jumping off of a banister. Arnold was a bulky, quiet guy, but is a gentle soul. Later on, Yuno finds Debbie and introduces herself. The two of them create a pure friendship. From here on out, things went from chill to grill real quick. First, you had fish guts and animal parts on the ground. Then one of the Karen's son had drawn a weird symbol related to the relic. And then the foreigners were slowly acting strange, except for Arnold, because Arnold's a good boy. These weird happenings began to create tension among the tenants, between the elderly and the foreigners. Debbie tries with her might to unite the complex by making an ice shavings party. Keep in mind that Debbie and Yuno are like 7 and 8. Debbie enlisted help from both sides to make it happen. She succeeds in gathering them and simply tells everyone that they were having a tough time adjusting, so this party shall make everyone buddies. I like sweets and other delicious foods, but what I dislike is when someone puts some scrappy doo-doo in it. Joke aside, they eat dog tonight. This discovery got everyone beefing in this feud. It took them a minute to cool down since they don't have a culprit. Double D was working on the clock trying to uncover these unsettling events. Things get more twisted when we see moss in people's homes, but no one around. In conclusion, every time we see the grass, that means someone got their ass cut. So far, the Karens are dead. One of the dead boys became a dead boy. The Latin Passion lost some of their taco men. Shit was bad. Double D was getting close to putting this puzzle together, learning that the relic was from a holy story that took place a long time ago. So you know that little story that happened at the intro? Debbie does her best to interpret the story's meaning, but Double D thinks it's something more. Eddie was in the back trying to grasp what is really going on here. He finds a note from Double D. Basically, he noticed something completely off in his investigation. After some digging, he found his answers and learned they were basically being played with like toys by something so big. Double D couldn't take the Twilight Zone, so he self-deleted to see the Reaper on his off time. The very last thing he tells Eddie was to go and protect what they all care about the most. The second he leaves, he ran into a knife, and here's Johnny putting him out like trash. It's revealed that all of these events were caused by Johnny, Sonia's husband, who, by the way, almost killed everybody. Mans was part of some cult that was foreshadowed during that war sequence. Arnold comes up because he was worried about Debbie and Yuno. Arnold began duking it out with Johnny and was about to put him on a stretcher, but his wife came in like, "I'm Sonia and I'm here to put it on you," and poked this man with a knife. She's also part of the cult, by the way. Arnold was going to be terminated, but used the relic to protect himself and gave them a fatality. Damn! He bust their backs like his name was Jax. While the fighting was going on, Debbie and Yuno were hiding in her place. There was a reason why I called this 8-year-old Yuno, because you know her ass is evil. Get it? Because Yuno Gasai? Future Diary? Man, fuck y'all. Anyways, Yuno begins spilling the beans, saying she is also a cult member, and she also got a knife.
No, stay away from me!
Swingity spooty, I'm coming for your booty.
Get away!
There's no escape from me. Time to die.
Before try to stab and dab, there's a reason why I called this 7-year-old girl Debbie. Debbie means queen bee. At this moment, she stopped acting scared and stopped acting like a little girl and said, "This isn't my bedroom. This isn't an apartment complex neither. And I am not a kid. I am God, bitch."
Wait a minute.
I sat there like, what in the sugar honey iced tea is this? I was hit harder than Chris or Will. The walls began to disappear and the whole place became a void. Started to believe. Wanted to praise the Lord, but God said, "You like gushers? But you don't bust like one, you googly eyes having ass bitch." God made ooze. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. I mean, she destroyed her life. She literally made her the actual definition of a gusher. After this bizarre slaughter, Arnold was the only one left alive, as God watched him walk away from the abandoned ruins of the complex, which was demolished, by the way, because she no longer held that illusion. And then God told him to get your ass in a car and get to the chopper. While the fighting was going on, Debbie and Were hiding in their... Double D couldn't take the Twilight Zone, so he was... Double D couldn't take the Twilight Zone. He was in so... The old people politely scolded her, though, for jumping off of the cliff. That's why y'all cult never went anywhere. Maybe if y'all got rid of that shitty ass religion, y'all would get some women in this bitch. Or better yet, that demon lord y'all worship would call y'all dog asses if they not fucking around in hell. Niggas. This shit was short as hell. Only 4 episodes. God damn. I just have to ask this. Why was the shut-in nerd the first one that God took away? This is why you never judge the milk from the carton. The second they bust, they leak. I like how this old man put himself in a coffin, but tells his friend the reason why, and also tells him to save this person who ain't even human. I can't believe that only once they asked, "Where are your parents?" in the entire show.